In Nigeria's ever-dramatic political landscape, where power often shields corruption and patronage fuels loyalty, one figure seems to attract more fire than most: Peter Obi. Obi has consistently chosen to walk a different path and has paid dearly for it. Peter Obi, former governor of Anambra State and the Labour Party's presidential candidate in 2023, has become the elite's favorite target, a political punchbag for both former allies and entrenched power brokers. At the same time, Obi is a beacon of possibility for millions of ordinary Nigerians. The paradox is striking. The more he is attacked, the more his grassroots support seems to deepen. While the corridors of power echo with disdain for him, the streets, from Lagos to Lokoja, Port Harcourt to Potiskum, still chant his name with hope. Why does this contradiction exist? Why is Peter Obi so reviled and ridiculed among Nigeria's elite, yet revered among its struggling masses? Peter Obi's politics are an anomaly in a system built on rent-seeking, backroom deals, and prebendela patronage. As governor of Anambra State, he famously rejected the enticement of godfathers and refused to play by the familiar rules of sharing the national cake. His impeachment in 2006, a decision later overturned by the courts, was less about legal wrongdoing and more about his unwillingness to submit to the state's power brokers. His refusal to inflate contracts, approve padded budgets, or reward loyalists with unchecked access to public funds alienated the powerful, even within his own party. Obi's financial prudence and insistence on governance by accountability directly threatened the foundational ethos of Nigeria's political elite. In a landscape where public office is too often viewed as a personal ATM, Peter Obi's insistence on frugality, even boarding commercial flights as a sitting governor, is not admired, it is ridiculed. That ridicule has only grown louder since his 2023 presidential bid, where he emerged as a genuine third-force contender. It was supposed to be a two-horse race. Obi disrupted that, and the establishment hasn't forgiven him since. In recent times, the attacks have grown even sharper. Former allies like Kenneth Okonkwo, once a passionate campaigner for Obi, have distanced themselves. DG Adeyonju, a notable human rights lawyer and past sympathizer, now routinely criticizes Obi Onliahu. From presidential aides to social media influencers bankrolled by state interests, the narrative is consistent. Peter Obi is either unrealistic, divisive, or politically immature. Obi has become something of a lightning rod. Everyone seems to take turns throwing punches at him. But why has Peter Obi become Nigeria's elite punching bag? The answer may lie in the one thing he stubbornly refuses to do: play politics the Nigerian way. If you scratch the surface, another possibility emerges. He is feared. Not because he holds power now, but because he represents a growing political consciousness that seeks to rewrite the rules of the game. He is not the first to speak of accountability, but he might be the first in recent times to rally millions, particularly Nigerian youth, around the simple, radical idea that their future does not have to be measured by the greed of a few. Obi's political capital doesn't come from the halls of the National Assembly or the smoke-filled rooms of party elders. It comes from the streets, from the classrooms, from tech hubs, from motor parks, and from frustrated Nigerians tired of recycled leadership. The obedient movement is not just a fan base, it is a grassroots rebellion against the status quo. Young, Urban, frustrated with the failures of the establishment, they see Obi as a symbol of hope, honesty, and the possibility of a new Nigeria. During the 2023 elections, they proved they could shake up the political map, pulling unprecedented numbers for a third-force candidate in a system long dominated by two parties. While critics dismiss them as noisy and inexperienced, their impact is undeniable. In 2023, Obi secured over 6 million votes without the traditional party structures, winning in key states like Lagos and the Federal Capital Territory. It was a political earthquake. For many Obedients, Peter Obi is not a messiah. He is a symbol of a different possibility, a system where merit trumps connections, where leaders explain how money is spent, and where being from the north or south doesn't determine your right to govern. As Nigeria hurtles towards the 2027 general elections, one question looms large. Can Peter Obi win? Or better put, can he overcome the elite sabotage, the internal sabotage, and the structural obstacles stacked against outsiders? The answer is uncertain. The Labour Party remains weak in several regions, and the electoral infrastructure still favors deep-pocketed parties with decades of patronage. The media, still largely influenced by oligarchs, often downplays or distorts Obi's message. And internally, the obedient movement risks fragmentation without proper coordination or clear political strategy. Obi has become passionate, but will that passion be enough in 2027? Passion and grassroots energy can ignite rallies, flood social media, and inspire a generation. But Nigerian elections are rarely decided by enthusiasm alone. The entrenched elite still control the machinery, money, state structures, and in many cases, the electoral process itself. For Obi to break through, his movement will need to do more than just rally the faithful. It must expand into the hinterlands, build alliances, and find a way to wrestle with a system designed to protect itself. These are big hurdles. Yet, Obi remains the most consistent voice in Nigeria's fractured opposition landscape. If he can build alliances beyond his base, particularly among northern youth and civil society groups, and find a way to convert social media energy into ground game efficiency, the 2027 race could yet be another upset. Peter Obi is not perfect, even his supporters acknowledge that. But in a political climate where perfection is not only absent but actively disdained, his commitment to transparency, fiscal responsibility, and issue-based politics is a radical deviation. The elite can punch all they want. What they haven't figured out is this: every jab thrown at Obi only deepens his connection with the people who have the most to gain from real change. The ones who don't dine in Aso Rock, but who sleep under its failing electricity. In the end, Peter Obi's story is that of a man both cursed and blessed. Cursed because the elite see him as an outsider they must constantly discredit. And blessed because ordinary Nigerians see him as proof that politics doesn't have to be business as usual. The 2027 elections may yet prove whether Nigeria's elite can suppress the will of the people, or whether this time the punch bag punches back.